In this RoutCAD application video, we will see how to design a motor mount with the RoutCAD CAD-CAM software. We have designed a motor mount and we will see how we have done that. The first thing we notice are all the lines in red. The objects in red are construction objects and they represent the physical boundary of the part that we want to make. To make a construction line, we go to the Draw menu and we click on Line. There are three ways to draw a line. We can draw a line by entering the first point and last point of the line. We can draw a line by entering the first point, angle, and length of the line, or we can draw a line by using the mouse. This motor mount also have a bar and a counter bar. These circles are construction circles and they represent the physical limit of the bar and counter bar. To do a construction circle, we go to the Draw menu and we click on Circle. There are three ways we can draw circles and arc. If we enter the first point, second point, and third point, we will get an arc. We can enter the center, radius, begin angle, and end angle. In this case, for a full circle, it is 0 and 360 degrees. That will give us a full circle. Or we can use the mouse to draw either an arc by 3 points or a full circle by specifying the center and the radius of the full circle. Now, this motor mount also have some holes to put fastener to hold the motor mount. These holes are represented by points, and it just so happened that the diameter of the milling tool is the same as the hole that we want to make. Therefore, we are able to simply represent this hole by a point. To draw a point, we go to the Draw menu and we click on Point. There are two ways we can draw a point. We can draw a point by entering the coordinate of the point, or we can draw a point by using the mouse. Now this construction object in red, as we mentioned earlier, are the physical boundary of the motor mount that we want to make. The perimeter of the motor mount is represented by these lines, and the counter bar is represented by this circle, and the full bar is represented by that circle. Now, this construction line are not actually the path that the CNC will follow. To get the path of the CNC, we need to offset this object and route them. So, as we see, all the lines in pink actually represent the path of the CNC, and this perimeter was offset by the radius of the milling tool toward the outside. The circles in pink represent the counter bar, the first circle, and was offset by also the radius of the milling tool, but toward the inside. and the full bore is another circle that was offsetted toward the inside by the radius of the milling tool. So basically, all the inside feature of a part need to be offsetted toward the inside to actually get the proper path that we want, and the perimeter need to be offsetted toward the outside. Now, to offset an object, we go to the Edit menu and we select Automatic Contour Offsetting. We can offset one object at a time, or we can use the window to offset many objects at once. Now, if we click on one of these objects, we can get the property of that object. In this case, we can see this routed line as a full depth of cut, which is 1.4 centimeter deep. The material itself is 1.2 centimeter thick. Therefore, the CNC milling tool will go completely through the material. It is same thing for the bore. The bore is 1.4 centimeter deep. The counter bore is only 0.2 centimeter deep, so it will not go through the material. Now, all the little holes that we have made are also 1.4 centimeter deep, and they go through the material. As I mentioned earlier, these holes are used to fasten the motor mount. Now, when we want to see how the CNC will actually perform this machining, we can go to the View menu and display the route arrow. This will actually show us how the CNC will do the machining. But before that, we also need to actually route these lines. These lines in pink have already been routed, which means we have defined the machining direction and the machining order. To do that, we go to the Machine menu and we select Route Semi-Automatic. By doing Route Semi-Automatic, we can specify which object will be machined, in what direction it will be machined, and in what order it can be machined. So we can fully specify how the CNC will make this part. After we have done that, we simply go to the View menu and we display route arrow. By displaying the route arrow, now we see the actual sequence and direction of the machining. The first line in red, that is dash, is going from the origin or home of the CNC, the 00, and go to the first point to be routed on the part. In this case, we made a point at the intersection of those two lines, and if we place the mouse on it and click the middle mouse button, we get the property about that point. First of all, this point is the first object to be routed, and it's only 0.1 centimeter deep. The reason why we made this point is basically a marker that only goes 0.1 centimeter deep in the material to give us a physical cue as where the machining will start on this part. Now, after it goes to the first point, the CNC machine will move up in the air by the offset clearance to material distance that we have defined in the configuration and go to the next point to be machined. In this case, it is the first hole that we made to put a fastener to hold the motor mount. If I click the middle mouse button on it, I can see that it's going 1.4 centimeter deep. Then it goes to the next hole, the second hole, the third hole, and the fourth hole. So it will basically start over here, move in that sequence until it does those 4 holes. After the 4 holes have been machined by the CNC milling tool, the CNC will move to the counter bore. If I click the middle mouse button on the counter bore, we can see that it's 1.4 centimeter deep and is going completely through the material. So basically this counter bore will disconnect from the main material. Then it will move to the that was the bore. Then the CNC will move to the counter bore. The counter bore, it's only 0.2 centimeter deep, and we can see it's going in that direction. Now, after the counter bore have been done and after the holes have been done, the bore and the counter bore, these are all the inner features. After all the inner features have been machined on that motor mount, the CNC will go and machine the perimeter. Now it will move to the next point and do this line basically, which is the 8th object to be routed, and we can see it's completely going through the material. Now after that it goes to the next line, the next line, and the next line until it completely does the full motor mount. Now if we want to see how this motor mount will actually look like, we go to the view menu and we select show route. By doing show route, it actually shows us the routing from the motor mount. Now everything in gray is actually the physical material. Anything in red or other color is the material that was removed by the CNC milling tool. So we can see these 4 holes that we have done to put the fastener for the motor mount, and we can also see the bore, the full bore that was made, and the countersink